Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for coming back to join me today. I'm going to continue making my envelope flip journal. I had a catastrophe yesterday. I did a whole video for you, and for some reason, although I could see it on my screen, it didn't record, and I really don't know what the problem was. So I had to abandon it because it didn't record. But anyway, I'll show you what I'd done yesterday, and then I can repeat the process because I need to do it again. So if you remember in my last video, and some of you were doing this along with me, so thank you so much for that. It's good to know that you are. We put the envelopes together, and I'm kind of thinking I might add an extra bit, but I'll think about that. And so in the video that didn't work, I've added that. I've got this big window envelope that somebody gifted to me, and I've just cut an image and stuck it on the window so that will be a pocket in there. The kit that I'm using, I think you can guess, it's a winter theme, and this is from Amy at Crafty Cat USA. And I went through the papers that I've got, and I had quite a few of her papers left over from a journal I made last year using this kit. So I thought, well, I'll just carry on and use it. And I'm really pleased I did, because I'm really happy with how it's turning out at the moment. So a bit of a mismatch of papers. I've got Smarty Maze in here as well. But the main kit that I'm using is the winter ones from Amy, so I'll list them below. So what I did yesterday that didn't work was, if you remember, I'm putting flips on the front of this, and I did it. I made the flip to go on the front, so that will go, and it says front there, look, because I do get confused. That will go on there, that flips that way, and then that will flip that way. So I'm really, really happy with how this is looking. Okay, I would just like to comment as well. I have a few people that ask me if they can reserve the journals as I'm making them. I'm not going to reserve any of my journals from now on, because it gets me in a whole mess of trouble with people, because I get a lot of people, or a few people, asking me to reserve it, and then if I let one person have it, the other people get upset, and I try and do it in order of people asking, and it still doesn't seem to work. So it causes me all sorts of anxiety. So the journals that I make, I will just put into my Etsy store, because I just don't know how to manage it any other way. So anyway, yes. So I made this. I did the flip. I'm using some of the Tim Holtz. I don't know if they're called Christmas or Winter People from last year that I had. Those, aren't they lovely? I've got some quotes that I had left over from Andrea Artie Mays. That's from Tailor Made Journals. I love that. It just reminds me of snow. So I made that to go on there, and then realised that my video hadn't been working. So we'll do that again, because I want to put the same on the back. So I've got all sorts of papers. So if you remember, I cut 2 extra papers, and you can attach these. Leslie from Willow House Journals, she joins all her envelopes together and then decorates them. It's just not the way that I work. So you could glue this on here, attach it on, and then decorate it, and attach that on and then decorate it. It really doesn't matter. It's down to you and how you prefer to work, and this is just the way that I prefer to work. So I'm sure you will find your own way through. I'm going to put these people on the pocket on this one, I think. So this is my envelope. I know I want it to flip that way, so I'm going to keep that on that side. I'm using like a blue ink around the edges because I don't want the white to show. And I cut the flaps off my envelope by an accident. And so I've put flap hinges on the inside. So that will just make sure that the envelope closes. Okay, so I've done that. That's all that I've done. Right way up. I ought to put an arrow, didn't I, saying top. So we'll cover this and see how we go. I think I wanted, this is as far as I got when I realised that the video wasn't working yesterday. I think I'd cut this ready to stick on there. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, this is going to be a side opening pocket. So when I've collaged on it, I'm going to snip that bit off to make it a tuck pot. I'm going to have a tuck pot just there. Okay. So I'm going to do this so that I've got a little bit extra where the flap is to fold over, because I want to cover that bit of white, and I'm going to fold this over and to decorate the back. Okay, so that's my plan. Cunning plan. So I hope you're all okay. Here in the UK, I'm actually doing this video, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, it's not actually, it's 7:30. We're always early risers here. My neighbours are having building work done, and the noise yesterday was terrible. And I didn't do the video yesterday until, gosh, what time was it? It was about 7 o'clock at night before I got to do it, because there were scaffolders were round, and oh, it was just horrendous noise. And then it didn't work. But hey ho, we live to video another day, don't we? So I'm going to put that. Let me just try and put it underneath me, because it's sometimes hard to see what I'm doing. That'll do. Self-seal envelopes self-seal themselves, don't they? Sticky fingers. So I hope you're all okay. I had some lovely comments from you all on my last video, which was putting the envelopes together, and I think we've all kind of struggled to make one of these journals, and I think I've said in my previous videos, we've all got such different styles, and I think when you see somebody make something and you like it, I think you find it frustrating when you can't do it the way that they do, because you've liked their look so much. You want yours to look the same, and it ain't going to happen, because we're all so different. So we just find our own way through, I think. I'm going to fold that over there. Okay, so that's the front. That will fold over, because that's going to be my flap, and then because I've put this over it, you won't see the white of that envelope. And on the previous ones, I actually tore this flap off, because I didn't found that I didn't actually need it. So I'm just going to fold that like that, so that I can see where I want to put these people on. I'm just wondering if there's a little quote that I could put on here. I think I can. I can't remember if these were a freebie from Andrea. On one of her winter kits. I'm not sure. It could well have been. But I printed them out and hadn't used them. I often do find that I end up with duplicate prints. Get a bit carried away sometimes. A little magic can take you a long way. I wonder if I can get just a little... You watch, I'll ruin this now. Just wondering if I can get just a little bit more. Oh no, it sounds like the builders are there already. Oh gosh, golly. And then I've got this blue ink. I'm just going to go around that a little bit. We had the builders had the scaffolders there yesterday, and it was like a disco going on, I tell you. Oh dear, oh dear. And bearing in mind I want to cut some off there, I'm going to put these people on. I've seen people with these Tim Holtz people with the Tim Holtz people. I've seen some journalists use these Tim Holtz people, and they actually colour bits in. Does anyone know what they use? Is it paint? Is it ink? I don't know. But it is nice to see them with a little bit of colour. I take it that they're colouring them, and that they don't do coloured images, as in colourful images. A little magic can take you a long way. I like that saying. And what I've also got this little bit that I wanted to stand on my own frame. Yeah, I wanted to stand these people on because I think it looks like snow. So I think I want it about there. Oops, discard those bits. I'm going to stick that on there. Yep, the builders have arrived. I can hear the van. If it starts to get noisy, I will close my windows. So we'll see how it goes, shall we? And then I'm going to glue these folks on. So, Amy, if you're watching this, I hope you like my take on your winter kits. I just thought, as I've got some left over, I've printed some extras as well, and I think Amy has at least 3 winter kits, so I'm guessing that the papers I'm going to be using are going to be a mix of all 3, because I know that I have used all 3. And as I've said before, they do all go wonderfully well together. Let's get them on there. So that will be my flap. This will be the back flap. And then I want something to go on here, and I want to extend it over that flap so that it covers this. So can I close that envelope now? Yes, I can. So I've put 3 flaps on there, and so I am going to, same as you would if you were making a pocket, no different. Yep, the builders are there. I can hear them talking now. I don't think they're being too noisy at the moment though. And hopefully that will work. So that's my envelope sealed up. Can anybody see a ruler? Oh, this one will do. Make sure that's the edge I want to cut a little bit. Sorry, have I gone off screen again? That's the bit that I want to cut a little bit off. If they start drilling, as I said, I will shut the window. I just want to make sure that I've not closed it. So can you see I've still got my envelope there? Super nice and easy. There. Really happy with that. And then I just want something on here on the back. I've got some bits and pieces that I'm using. It's not quite big enough. I do like this snow. So I think I'm going to have a rough edge. Along there. And then I just need, so that will go on there like that. And I just need to tear it off. Sorry if I gone off screen again. And I don't need all of that, but I do want it to extend a little bit. So that it covers this bit up, because if you think you're going to see that bit when it's on. Right, get that stuck on there. Blue. So what themes are you all doing? If you're making one of these, what's the theme that you've chosen to do? Another reason I chose to do this kit, the last kit that I used was from Rachel Roxy's Creations, and that was similar to the kits that Leslie from Willow House Journals was making. And I think sometimes that's part of what encourages us, if you like, to make something is we like the kit that the person is making or using. And I think I'm going to do the same as I did last time, and I'm just going to tear the actual envelope flap off because it does make it quite bulky. So that will now be my flap there. And I'm just going to cut. Yes, so I was saying, I think what encourages us to try something is we like the papers that somebody's using, which is fine, but we don't always have the same papers, of course. And that can be frustrating, but I thought it would be nice to do it in a different theme so that you can see, you know, you can do it in whatever you want. There. So that's my front pocket. Good. That is going to go on here like that. So now I need to decorate this pocket. I do. So what do I want? I could use that one, couldn't I? If that was, where's my... Yes, I like that. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to tear that white strip off. Let me just rip these papers down and I'll be back. Ooh, nearly switched my video off then. So I've just torn this down. So again, I want it to go over the flap because that's going to be where I attach it to the other envelope. And I want it to go over the other side as well. And I'll show you why I want to do that in a moment. Just get rid of those little white edges where I've ripped it. Okay. So glue. Let's get that glued on. I want it stuck really well at the edges. And all the way everywhere else as well. These edges is where I want it. So this one is going to be a top tuck. Okay. So I've had one at the side and this one's going to be at the top. So I'm just going to, I just want that to go over the edges slightly. Get it squidged down good and proper. And then I'm taking it over the other side of the envelope, and I will show you for why. And again, you don't have to do it this way. This is Carol's way because this is the way that Carol likes to do it. And I'm sure you will all find your own way that you like to do it. So we have, sorry, let me move that a bit closer to me and I might manage to keep you in screen then. So we have that, we have this, that's going to be the flap over. Okay. We have this envelope that's the top. No, it's not. That's the side envelope. It's going to go on there. Doesn't that look pretty? Beautiful papers, Amy. So magic can take you a long way. And then you've got the people skating. And that looks like ice. Now, the reason I folded this over is because I don't like to see the white envelope. So as you can see, when I put this over, those bits are covered, which makes me happy. So I'm going to put this envelope on now at this point, okay? I'm going to butt it up and I am going to stick that flap that we left down. And again, we will all do this bit differently. So I am now attaching my small envelope to my slightly bigger one. Okay. Just put that lid on that glue. Got it. This blue ink, you probably can't see it, but it's slightly iridescent and I'm covered in it. So I have now attached that envelope. You can't see the envelope there. And this bit we're going to cover. So you're not going to see this bit here. You'll see a little bit of it, but not a lot. So I think I can now close this envelope. So again, I've put 2 hinges on to close it. So I'm going to close that envelope. So that's going to be a pocket. So you don't have to use envelopes, you know, you can make your pockets. I bet I've still gone off screen, haven't I? You can still use your pockets, make pockets of your own if you don't have envelopes. Just make sure it sticks well and good. I'm going to sneeze. I don't think there's a high pollen count today, but I've got such a tickly nose. I know you didn't need to know that. So there we are. That is going to be a, when I've done it, a top tuck. Get my glue to glue. Okay. Stop trying to open it until you've put the other bit on. Now when I cover this back bit, it's going to go all the way across there, so that will hold it. And I would have liked to have used that lady, but she's going to be right on the crease there. I suppose I could put her further in and then put something on the edge. Couldn't I? I might do that actually. I might do that. Okay, let me just get my papers torn. Do you know, if it's not the builders, it's the neighbours' dogs. There's always something, isn't there? Right, so I've put that piece on and I've left it to overhang because that's my flap, don't forget. And then I'm going to put this piece on here over that to hide that, like that. So let's get that glued on. Do you know, I'm getting through more glue sticks at the minute. I'm definitely going to have to go and get a refill. Definitely. Okay, I'm just turn it this way so I can hopefully see the edge. So I want to put that as close to the edge as I think I dare. Slightly too long at the bottom. Oh, bits of paper stuck everywhere. So I'm really happy with that, except for the gluey bits that are everywhere. So I've now got 2. These are the extra pockets. So one of them will go on there like that. And then the other one goes like that, doesn't it? Will go on there like that, back. And to be fair, I think I said it in the last one that I did, either of these can be the front, it really doesn't matter. So you can see we've got that flaps that way, that flaps that way, flaps, flaps. So they both work nicely. Okay, so I'm going to put those 2 to one side for now, because the next bit that I think I need to do is I want to fill in these windows. because what I want to do is cover with paper. So I think 25 minutes, I think I've got time to do it with you. So I think that I want to use the Tim Holtz Little People again. That's what I think I want to do. Can you hear the squeaky wheelbarrow? What is it they say? Never work with dogs and children. See, doesn't she look so cute in there? So that's what I want to do. And I don't know what she's holding on to. She's got a hand up there. So I think what I want to do is I've got some of Amy's bingo numbers. I've got them cut out, her bingo numbers. I think it's the last kit that she's just done. And I thought it might be nice if I had the little girl holding on to the bingo numbers. So I think that's what I'm going to do. For no reason other than I just don't want her to have her arm stuck up in the air, and I like using numbers. So if I put her there, oh gosh, come here little girl. Looks like she's holding on to them, doesn't it? And I think what will happen is some of those numbers will disappear when I put the window on it. So if I have her kind of there, that'll work, won't it? So let's get her stuck on. So the reason I'm covering these windows, obviously, is because you can see through them, and they're not going to be pockets. So I'm doing it as kind of decoration, but again, it depends what envelopes you've used as to whether you've got windows that you want to cover or not. Right, so that's that little girl on there. And then I need to know the size of my envelopes, if I had a ruler. Let's measure it with this one. So I'm going to do it about 5 centimetres by 11. And then I know I've got enough to stick. Oh, I'm losing my other little girl. So if I rip it across there. It can be any size, as long as I've got enough to glue her in. We'll be fine and dandy. Don't lose her. I could push it slightly. I think that is about right. What do you think? Don't think she looks wonky, does she? So I'm going to carefully hold the girl in place because that's where I want her. And then I'm going to put glue around my window. And also around the edge of that image. Because I've held it in place, I know it hasn't moved. Famous last words. So I'm just putting glue on the plastic window because I want it to stick. So there we are. We have the window decorated. And I know that that's where my other attached envelopes. So that is where they will go. No, I'm lying. No, it's not. Yes, it is. So they will go on there. Won't they? Yep, they go on there. attach envelopes. So I know I haven't got to, I know that's not going to get covered with anything. Okay. And I think I said to you, I was thinking of adding this on there as a flip, but I was going to make, if I do, it's going to be a pocket with a tall tag in or something. It would still fold. So I might not. Who knows? Who knows? So you get different ideas as you go along. So that's her in there. And then I think I want this little girl in there. I think she will just fit. And she is sitting down. We have a sitting down girl. And so I'm thinking that she could sit on there. What do you think? Do I want some consistency and put some numbers behind there? Or I might have a blue ticket. No, you're not going to see much behind it though, are you? Because of the window. Let me just see if I can. Okay, folks. So I've put a little ticket there because I just thought she needed something behind her. My tickets, I think, are from an ephemera pack from Artie Mays. Put some glue on her. My fingers are so sticky. I want her sitting there like that. Does she look level? She's sitting in the dip on that. Happy with that. And then I just need to tear this down. And I keep all these little bits because you just never know when you're going to need them. They will be useful for covering around the windows and things. Okay, so we've got that little girl and I want her to go, oh, I like her just there, I think, like that. What do you think? So again, I am going to hold her there and put my glue. I did switch you on again, didn't I? Yes. On there. And the back of these are going to get covered anyway because I'm putting paper all over, aren't I? So you're not going to see the backs of these. Ah, no. Didn't want glue on there, did I? Oh, and it's moved. Never mind, I knew it would. So I'm going to carefully position her there. Ah! Or not. Quick moves there, girl. Because you know what this fast tack glue's like. Once it's down, it's down. That's okay. Okay. So it's coming together. It is coming together. So let's see what we've got. We've got that. That flaps out and you see that girl. And you've got that girl on the back. So I am happy with that. Okay. What I'd like to show you is how I attach the envelope onto the back of here. So what I'm going to do is just put some papers down here so that I can show you how I do it. And then you'll probably be saying that you've had enough being with me for today. I don't think I want this this bit to be as long, but I can sort that out later. I'm going to think ahead a little bit, and I'm going to put a couple of hinges on this envelope. Let me just get these sorted. Okay, so because I opened this envelope up, this big one, I took the flaps off to reseal it again. So all I'm doing is I've cut a piece of paper. I use my scraps, fold it in half, and I'm going to glue that on, and that's how I will close this envelope when I'm ready. So just trying to get ahead of myself. Unusual for me, because if you're not adding your envelopes till later, you need to kind of think ahead how you want to do. But if you go wrong, it doesn't matter, you can change it. It's up to you, it's your journal. Okay, so that's going on there like that. So they will make it so that I can close that like that, and then that I've cut that down so that you can get things in and out of there easily. So what I'm now going to do is fold that out my way. So I'm going to cover down this side here. That's what I wanted to do. I could use that paper, couldn't I? But it's not in keeping with the kit that I've got. Do you know, sometimes I just can't pick bits of paper up. So this is what I'll use my strips and bits and pieces that I've got left over for. And I'm going to do it slightly higher because I might want to turn it over, because I can cut them off later on if I just change my mind. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Just do it, Carol. Stop thinking. Okay, so if I go slightly over my window, it's not going to matter. Because you're not going to see the white on the opposite side, are you? So I'm just going to turn them over onto the other side, just because it gives me a nice neat edge for when I want to fold it. Just my choice. Don't have to. Please don't feel that you have to do anything that I'm doing. And because I'm adding, what am I adding to this? Papers. I will put fabric down where I've stitched my papers in. Again, you don't have to do that. It really doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter if you don't. I think I want that number 2. Although, to be fair, that's going to get covered up. So if it's going to get covered up, maybe I want it on this side. Ugh, globby glue. That's going to go over the fold anyway, so you're not going to see it. So really, whatever you put on these, you don't see an awful lot because it's on the fold. But we try and make it look pretty anyway, don't we? Actually, I think I'm going to put that on that side. Where's my scraps? I keep putting the lid on the glue. I should keep it off, shouldn't I? Here we go. And I just want a bit to go in there. Shall I have some more numbers? I must have more scraps than that. Let's have a bit of this. Get rid of the white bit. Okay. Let's just turn that over there. Take that little bit out there because that's going to be the fold, isn't it? So for no reason other than I just like neat edges, I'm folding mine over. Okay, so that is going to fold like that. I don't want to fold that bit yet because it's not dry. So this bit here is where I'm attaching my little girls to. On there. I'm going to push that in as far as I can. It does stick out a little ways. I'm not worried about it. It's bound to when you think about it, isn't it? Slightly higher. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can slightly cover that. Okay. Glue. So this is me attaching the first two envelopes to make my flip. And of course it's got two flaps. I've taken the envelope paper out because it just makes it so bulky. There we go. Oops. So we can see how this attaches. So that will fold back, obviously. So this will be the front of it. So we've got the flip there and we've got the flip just there. And there was a little bit of blue there, but I'll fix that bit. There we go. So I hope that is useful on how I attach mine. So 1, 2, and then this will be folded. I just want to let that glue dry a little bit before I do it. So I hope that makes sense. What I'm going to do before I come back to you, I'll decide whether I'm going to add that extra flip, and I will start and cover the backs of these, I think, with papers. Okay, so I hope you found it useful. Please tell me if it's not, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot, folks. Bye.